let's take a look at how we can quickly rebuild the bristles. The scan we have is actually quite useful. It shows us kind of like the orientation and also the amount of bristle bundles we have. And from this side also how those are a little bit tilted. We will simplify this tilt orientation a little bit. And so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I would say. And then here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2. Okay. So how do we start? I place my 3D cursor, for example, to there in a side view. That's also then perfectly along the Z-axis. By the way, you can manipulate the 3D cursor also with this value here. So you have X, Y, and Z, by the way. But when you work in orthographic views, you always can position the cursor only along 2 axes. Very good. So we will create a plane, and then in edit mode, we scale the mesh down. Very good. And we said we need 7. So 7 faces, each direction. That means Control R. And how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, this is good, which means we have how many cuts? 6. 6 cuts. And then here again, Control R, 6 cuts, Enter, and then escape so it doesn't move. Very nice. Press A and move all the mesh over to here. And with that 3D cursor set there, I can, for example, quickly set my stuff to this. And then S and X, and just scale this one out. In object mode, I quickly rotate this down to see, does this look good? And it pretty much is well aligned in object mode. That's nice. So I can, in object mode, unrotate this object so it's flat again. The next step is I have to scale this way, S and Y, say like this. And I select these 2 points, whoops, and cursor to selected. Do this one more time. Very nice. Okay, so the next step is I need to start arcing everything. These 2 outer edges I select and bring down. Then I select the next edges, bring them down. These next I select, bring them down. And I try actually to match the curvature. Maybe now I bring this whole object in object mode down, and I will bring those actually a tick back upwards. What I'm looking for is that kind of like these points are intersecting the surface just a little bit. Yeah, so here, there we see this can go a tick deeper. Good morning, baby. Are you up? Okay, guess Dada has to hit pause. Otherwise, my office will be destroyed. There, very good. Okay, let me quickly hit pause to prevent any any disasters here. Do you want to teach my students? Yes. You want to tell them? Chop, chop. Hi. Okay. Where's the pause button? Okay, let's continue. So, top, does it feather out? These are actually more linear than actually feathered out, so that's good. Just from the top. This is not easy to see in the scan, but these are rounded a little bit. Okay, so before we continue, Let's do this first. We make this back to 0 in object mode, and then we will do the same thing, for example, with the icosphere. And edit mode, we scale the icosphere down. Just the lower part, SNC, flatten it, scale it one more, very good. And your object center points are somewhat different. So what I will do now is, let me hide the scan for the moment. Or hold on, these two, it's easier to see what I'm doing. Yeah, so Shift S, cursor to selected in object mode, then set 3D urgent to 3D cursor, and this one we will say Shift S, selection to cursor, so we snap it in place. Very good. And then how many points do we have? These triangles look good. These are a little bit cricket, so, or not cricket, kind of tight. See, looks better now. So we move outer points. When we can sink this down a little bit more. Good. Then with a make a cylinder, and we want the cylinder to be very basic, so it just can be a simple hexagon. So vertices 6 instead of 12 or something, because the more bristles we have, the slower things can be. Radius 0.5 millimeter, and the depth 4.5 centimeters. Radius 0.5 millimeters. Then we go into edit mode. These point here and simply move this up roughly to there. That's fine. And 0.5 millimeters, yeah. Okay, good. Still a little bit thick, but that's fine. I mean, we just try to give an impression of how the bristles could look. Then we do the same thing. The bristle to the disk, Control P and parent, and then we select the disk and say instancing along the faces. This looks pretty good. Yeah, and then the disk to this plane, Control P object, and then we also here say instance along the faces. There we have it. Pretty cool. Okay, so because everything is parented, now we can simply select this object and move it down. We sink it into the surface. I will switch back to the bounding box now, keep this at local, and then start rotating this flat. Okay, so we have something like this, and this is fine. And we want this front part to arc. Well, to arc it, we have to manipulate these arcs. So we've then selected, I simply press R and just try to eyeball the rotation and position and bring it in there a little bit. And leave edit mode, and you see now that front part got rotated. Then I select the next row, so Alt, left mouse button, and then I rotate this. And what I will do is, this is this body here, I will hide it. Okay, good. And there I will select this one. Bring it to there. Okay, might have to scale this a little bit. So what I mean is just, how could I explain this ideally? See, this is, no, these faces are at an angle. While I rotated this edge, these faces are still at an angle. So the whole thing, I kind of like need to collapse a little bit. I want to try out something. What happens? I do this. By the way, I have currently an interesting bug. So when I select the geometry, it doesn't update, but now I press Alt and left mouse button, leave edit, go back, and you see this ring is selected. And yeah, that with the normal it looks good. So SZ, and that's fine. I move this one down. Okay, now you see everything is a little bit better. Then Alt click this one, S and Z. See, then the color changes. Seems to be like a small bug that sneaked in. And then this way we can, as you see, start adjusting the orientation. We will have some gaps in there, that's fine. As long as we don't show a rendering right from here, nobody will see that. We can actually select this and also rotate the whole object. And you see this way we can even rotate the bristles completely a little bit. Now to adjust maybe this big gap we have there, what I could do is I select this whole ring and say maybe S and Y. Just there, bring this over. And this here has to be rotated more. This one has to be rotated more. Okay. Maybe a little bit lower. Yeah, okay. And let's take a look how this feels, including this. Very nice. These bristles now we can give a color. I will select the same green. But let's see. Doesn't actually adjust this. Who do I have to give this material to? Not you. Oh, yeah, obviously. It's not the one. I have to select the original centerpiece, which is there. That one has to be green. Because then that, yeah, applies it. This one actually does not need a color. This is just for making the orientation. Very nice. And there, now we have a really nice representation. Now if we show the bristle or the brush kind of like from this angle or here, see that all looks really nice. And then based on how we further manipulate the mesh, we can play with everything. The last thing maybe to show is I'm not really happy how we have here kind of like this open part. So what I can do in that case is I select this base mesh and then maybe start selecting these 2 points and then GG, shift those down, maybe these 2 points, GG. So I adjust the spacing. That also means here, GG, GG, and the same here, GG, there, GG. Let's slide those over. And yep, that is everything regarding how we can quickly build the bristles in a pretty good